Good afternoon, Greenwin group. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Sari. I'm going to be taking you through our last yoga flow today. I can't believe it's our last class together. And so since we've been working together for 4 or 5 months, I feel like we've grown our practice, we've built a relationship, we've practiced together for so many hours. And so I'm going to challenge you guys a little bit and leave you with a few things to work on. It's really been such a pleasure to serve the Greenwin residents. I hope that you all have, whether you did one practice or all of them or somewhere in between, that you really got, you learned a few things, you were able to move your body, perhaps you found some stillness, maybe one nugget that perhaps helped to support you during this wild time. So that was our hope collectively. So for today's practice, we're going to close with the continuing theme of rise and growing. I'm sure that together, I know that we have all grown in so many different ways. And so for today's practice, we're going to continue to detoxify the body, let go of stagnant energy as we move into a new season. It's not just a new season where the weather is warmer and the days are longer, but it's really a new season of hope for changes to come. So let's start in the center of our mat, and we will start with a short meditation. So just coming into a cross-legged position, if this does not work for you and it's not the way you like to start your yoga practice, come to lie down, come onto the shins, whatever works for you. And so for today's practice, it's going to be very energizing. Let's spin the hands up. Let's start by gesturing the body to receive the energy that we need to not just make it through the practice today, but to help support us as we weather and thrive through this time. When you're ready, closing the eyes, if that feels good to you, begin to turn your attention inward and just start to feel your body. So when we have an agenda to change, when we have this desire to shift something in our life, there's a few things that happen. First, we have to get really clear on whatever that is, right? And that could be, finishing a book, to getting a new job, or whatever it is in your life, some kind of change, shifting a habit, shifting a thought, whatever it is, right? We have to get really clear in our hearts and our minds about what it is we want. And then once we're clear what we want, we got to create space for this new vision that we have. So right now in your body, just begin to create space. Just starting to breathe in and out. More purposeful. We go through our days just kind of breathing, almost taking for granted that our body kind of breathes us, right? So we're able to function. So as you take the time here to just breathe and slow down the breath, we start to get more connected to the present moment. Right? And the present moment is really what the difference is between starting to move towards that change or not, right? The present moment allows us to stop and make a choice in the direction for that which we want the change to manifest into our reality. So this is part of the importance of the breath, right? Just understanding how your breath works for you. When it signals to you that you got to slow down. When it signals to you that you got to take some action. Notice your own feedback. Just receive it. Continuing to follow your breath. And in fact, start to incorporate a measurement for your breath. So we're getting a little bit more focused with our task at hand, which is yoga. But before we go into the movements of yoga, we are already doing yoga. But we want to dive into this moment a little bit deeper. So it is the breath that bridges our mind and body in this moment. So let's inhale for the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3. Pause at the top. Exhale for 3, 2, and 1. Let's do that twice more together. Inhale for 1, for 2, and 3. Exhale the breath for 3, 2, and 1. Let's repeat that. Inhale for 1, for 2, for 3. Don't forget the pause. Exhale for 3, for 2, and 1. Continue on your own. So as you count each inhale and a pause, and then count each exhale and the pause, notice if you only get to 1 or 2, and then your mind darts in the direction of what are we going to have for lunch? Or you get to 1, 2, 3, inhale. Oh, you just remember that you have to respond to that exhale, or that you have to respond to that email. Then you forgot to exhale. So I want you then to start again, right? When you catch yourself in the mind wandering, return and start again. 1, 2, 3 on the inhale, pause. Exhale for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Continue on. So no doubt you're going to have to start over a few times. And the nature of the mind is such that it's going to wander. And it's going to say, hey, I need your attention over here, and I need your attention over here. And you say, I got you. I see you. Right now, I'm breathing and I'm counting. So it's with kindness. It's inclusive. Stay with it. When we want to create change in our life, we need focus towards that change, that vision, that direction. So this is what we're practicing here. This is how we grow. 1 or 2 more rounds. And then either bring your palms together at the heart space or stack your palms right onto your heart. Draw your chin into your chest. And when I said to you, maybe there's something that you want to change. Maybe there's something that you want to shift, or maybe you have a vision for yourself. What is that vision? Big, small, whatever it is. Maybe it's just to have more kindness towards yourself. Doesn't have to be grand. Doesn't have to be you're writing the next bestseller. Just directing your attention and your focus to what it is that you want to cultivate into your reality. 1 more breath here. Hands release, and we'll softly open up the eyes. Enjoy the rest of your class. Come on over to hands and knees. You can move your blanket off to the side. Grab your firm props. So whatever you have hanging around, a book, a soup can, puzzle box, just grab it, have it handy, bring it towards the top of your mat. Palms underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Just start to feel your limbs here as you spread through the fingers. And then start to tuck the toes under. You're just going to take a deep breath here. As you exhale, just start to draw your hips back towards the heels. And we're going to come into our downward dog right away today. And keep those knees bent so your spine gets nice and long. You can allow the chest to sink through the arms. Your hips stay lifted. Stay here for a few more breaths. Just starting to feel out your body. So if you're kind of roundy through the upper back, bend the knees. If there's a lot of weight in your wrists and your shoulders, bend the knees. Press your palms into the mat. Good. And then start to come forward to a plank pose where your shoulders sack over the wrists, and then drop the knees right away. Chest forward, bend your elbows, lower all the way down. Point your toes back, palms under the shoulders. From here, roll the shoulders up and back as you start to lift the chest up. Elbows hug in, and then slowly lower down. From here, curl your toes under, and then press back into that downward facing dog. The legs are starting to open. Maybe you straighten them out a little bit more, but not mandatory. In fact, I like to keep my knees bent here. It's softer on my low back and my hamstrings. From here, you're going to start to walk your hands back to your feet. Yeah. And as your hands get a little closer to the feet, keep a deep bend in the knees, and then bring your hands to the shins as you lift the chest up halfway. Pull the navel in. Exhale, bend the knees even deeper and fold over the legs. Good. Inhale, you're going to start to rise all the way up to stand, arms lift. Exhale, lower your thumbs down by your sides. Okay. Let's come back down to the mat. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Little bend in the knees. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. You're going to bring your hands to the shins as you lift your chest up halfway. Bring your fingertips down as you look forward, and then you're going to spin your toes out, drop your hips. So you're coming into a squat. See if you can stretch those arms through the legs, and then gather your palms together, lift your chest. Now notice if your heels are lifted, totally cool. Maybe your hips just don't go down as far. Keep pressing your palms together and keep lifting up through the chest, looking forward. Take another inhale. And exhale. Fingertips down, straighten your legs, spin the toes in, fold into your low body. And then again, start to walk your hands back out to that downward facing dog. And then take a very deep breath in here. And exhale. This time we're going to do the opposite. We're going to walk our feet all the way up to our hands. And as the feet approach the top of the mat, bring the hands to the shins, lift the chest up halfway, and then exhale, fold your upper body to the low body. Bend the knees, we'll roll it all the way up. Big shoulder roll at the top. And then you're going to start to just bring those big toes together. If that feels okay on your low back. If you start to feel some tension in your low back, then keep your feet hips distance apart like this. So you got to feel it out, right? This practice is really subjective, and we got to continue to listen in to what our body needs and accommodate it. So arms come down by your side. You're going to inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Little bend in the knees. Exhale, start to fold forward. Hands to the shins, look up. From here, you're going to plant your palms, and you're going to step your right foot way back to a long lunge here. I'm going to keep my right hand down, and I'm going to spin my chest to the left. Now, if you need to, you can always drop the back knee. Otherwise, keep the back knee lifted. Good. And we're just here for 2 more breaths. You can always take a block under your hand if you need to bring the floor up a little bit. 1 more breath. Good job. Okay. So from here, you're going to bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot. And I told you, we're going to travel. So you're going to crawl to the right and go all the way to the back of your mat. From here, you're going to find that twist with the right leg forward. That's it. And then I said I was going to challenge you today. So here is challenge number 1. From here, you're going to take your left heel. You're going to spin it out to the left. And then options here. You can slide your right foot down a little bit. This is a modified side plank, or stack your right foot on your left. That's it. Look up to your right hand. Take another breath here. Push down through that left hand. Good. If your right foot is stacked, bring it all the way back out. We're going to go travel back to the left foot, travel to the top of the mat. From here, as you look forward, find a high lunge. Woo. Arms lift, chest lifts. Good. One more breath. Exhale, hands come down. Step back to your downward facing dog. Letting the head go, let the chest go. From here, you're going to roll forward to your plank. Drop the knees. Chest forward, lower all the way down to the mat. Point your toes. Let's find a cobra. And then exhale, lower all the way down. And then from here, curl the toes under. Press back towards your sitting bones and come in to a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale, you're going to lift your right leg high to the sky. Look between your hands. Take as many steps as you need to get that right foot up to the right thumb. From here, your left heel pivots in. Your front leg is bent to 90 degrees. You're going to start to reach your left arm up. Come on up. We call this warrior 2. Gaze out over that right finger, those right fingertips. Left arm is reaching back as much as the right arm is reaching forward. Take a deep breath in. Good. Inhale, we're going to straighten that right leg. And then we're going to start to take the right ribs way over the right thigh. Your right hand comes down, your left arm lifts. We come into a triangle here just to stretch out through those hamstrings. That helps to open up through the low back and those outer hips. Find your breath. See if you can look up to that left hand. Otherwise, look down. Good. Take another breath in. Find your feet. Okay, little core here. Hug in. Come all the way up. Exhale, find that warrior 2. You're going to let the left hand come down your back leg, stretch your right arm straight back, and then bring both hands down. They frame the right foot. You're going to step that right foot back to your downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. That's it. Good. One more breath here. Very nice. We're going to slowly start to walk our hands all the way back to our toes. You're going to bring your hands to the shins. You're going to inhale, lift and lengthen the chest. As you exhale, fold your chest over the legs, interlace your fingers, and reach your arms all the way up and over the head. So just stretching out through the shoulders. Stand more into the center of your feet as you let the head go. And just breathe right here. Good. One more breath. Fingertips down. Okay. So hands to the shins as you look up. Little bend in the knees, fingertips plant. Spin your toes out. I want you to squat again. Okay. You're going to have a few opportunities to do this. So I want you to take your arms through the legs. So notice my legs are even a little wider than hips distance. My toes are turned out, and now my arms are through my legs. And the soles of your feet don't have to be firmly down. You can just come on up onto the toes. But what we need here is some connection between the knees and your upper arms. We're going to move into a little arm balance. I know you guys are ready for it after all this time that we've been practicing together. And even if you're not going to stay floating, you're just going to find this leaning effect. And before you know it, your feet are just going to float off of the floor. So let's give it a try. I call these crow walks. So your palms are going to come down. They're about shoulder distance apart. You're going to rise up to your tippy toes. I'm pushing my knees into my arms. In fact, I'm leaning into my arms. And what's going to counterbalance this movement is my fingertips. So I really have to push my fingertips into the mat. Okay, so both hands are down. I'm going to lift my hips up. I'm going to start to lean my knees into my hands, pick up my feet for a moment, and then bring them forward. So it's not necessarily a little hop. You can do that, but see if you can find a lean with your knees to the arms, pick up the feet, and then come back down. You can slide down those arms. And then maybe if you catch a little air, by the time you get to the top of the mat, you hold it. Knees up, legs up. 3, 2, 1. Feet down. Feet are hips distance apart. Fold all the way in. Don't worry, you're going to get another try. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Good. Roll it all the way up again. And this time, inhale, arms all the way up. Lower your thumbs right down to the heart space. Let's do that whole sequence again. So you can start with big toes together or feet hips distance. You decide. Firmly planted feet. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms reach up. Find that bend, slowly fold. Hands to the shin. So we're halfway into our lunge from here. Bend the knees. You're going to step your left foot way back into that lunge. You can always put your back knee down or keep it high. Right arm opens up, right chest lifts. You got it. Stay right here. Gaze up to the right fingertips. One more breath. Grab your passport. We're traveling. I know it's probably very empty right now. Right hand to the inside of your right foot. Traveling towards your left foot. So first we start in that same lunge. The right hand goes down. Then we're either going to start to drag your left foot back. First coming into the outside of your right foot, you can either draw your left hand down or left foot down towards the end of your mat, or stack your left foot on right. Side plank. So I'm really working this right side of the body, reaching the left fingertips to the sky. Gaze is up here. Hold it, my right shoulder firmly into my back. Last breath. Start with your left foot forward, and then you're just going to crawl it all the way up. And guess what? We're going back to the right foot. That's it. And then from here, find your downward facing dog. Roll forward to your plank. Drop the knees. Lower down. Point your toes. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. Exhale and release. From here, curl the toes under. Find your downward facing dog. Little bend in the knees. Really lift up through the hips. Okay, let's inhale our left leg up. Look between your hands. Step that left foot up to the left thumb. So if it only makes it up there halfway, pick it up. Your right heel is going to spin down. You're going to reach your right arm forward first, then come on up. Find your warrior two. Stand strong in the legs. So my left leg is bent to a 90-degree angle. My right toes angled in a little bit. My arms reaching straight out from the heart. Gaze is over that left hand. Stay with me. That's it. Reaching up through the crown of the head. One more breath. Start to straighten that left leg. Extending your left ribs way over the left leg. Left palm down. Right arm now reaches all the way up. Pull the chest back. So if this left leg is stick straight, little bend in the knees. Try not to way down on that left leg. Gaze us up. Strong body here, stronger mind. Take another breath. Find the center of your body. Inhale, lift it all the way up. Exhale, find your warrior two. Then let your right hand drop down that back leg. Reverse it here. Feel that side body stretch in the left. Good. Exhale, hands come down. They frame the left foot. Just make your way back to a downward facing dog and hold it here for 3 breaths. Breathe in and out. That's it. Stay with it. One more breath. Good. So start to walk your hands back to your toes again. You're going to bring your hands to the shins, and we're going to go right back into that crow. So palms down, but this time we're not going to do the walks. Okay, we're just going to play with it at the back of our mat. So my knees go wide. And so your knees can go anywhere on your upper arms, but they have to be above the elbow. They could be on the shoulder, in the armpit, wherever you want. But this is your shelf, your upper arm, not on your elbows, above the elbows. So just practice leaning into your arms. And then your fingertips are going to catch you. So you're just going to round through the back like you do for your plank. Going to lean, maybe lift the feet up, and then come back. Try that a few times. Lean. Maybe catch a little air and hold. And let's try it one more time. So you want to look forward, not down. Forward, not down. Beautiful. Fold it right here at the back of the mat. Come into a downward facing dog. Okay. Let's inhale the right leg up to the sky. You're going to look to your right wrist. Bend your right knee. Let your right knee land behind your right wrist. You're going to walk your left toes back. So as long as your right knee is pretty healthy, you can do this, meaning you have no issues with it. And then what we want to do is, if your right hip is kind of floating like this, you want to bring the ground to you. So maybe you place a blanket underneath your right butt cheek. If your right knee is healthy, all is fine. Start to take your right shin towards the front of the mat, and you can release your back toes. If you have some issues with this right knee, some joint issues, mobility issues, whatever it is, you can come into this position, but draw your right heel in instead of out. And then from here, you can start to fold your upper body. So just getting into this outer hip, you can come down to the forearms, stay lifted in the chest. You can even curl those back toes under again, and then just walk your left foot back a little bit more. And just soften here. Some of you might even come onto your belly. Just right into that outer right hip. Yes. Good. So walking your hands all the way back, you're going to take your left leg. As you lean into your right leg, swing your left leg all the way around. Your left foot is going to cross over the right thigh. And you can stay with this right knee bent, or you can extend your right leg. So you decide. But the left knee is on top and it's bent. The sole of my left foot is down. Left palm is down. Inhale, right arm up. I'm going to start to wrap my right arm around my left thigh. So sitting up nice and tall. So as you come back to hold that vision for yourself in your heart and in your mind, is there anything that you could let go of to make more space for this vision, for this desire? Meaning, what will you have to do to move towards it? What do you have to get organized? What do you have to plan? Because when we have a focus, right, when we have a goal, there's all these little meta skills, these little things that we got to do to move towards it. Take another breath in. Okay, so we're going to back out the same way that we came in. Okay, so you're going to take your left leg, swing it all the way back around. Palms down, step it back to your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Exhale. Good. As you step into your right foot, lift your left leg high. Bend your left knee. Take your left knee, drop it off to the outside of your left wrist. Start to slide your right foot back. So your left leg is a whole different story, a whole different ballgame. If your left hip is floating, have a blanket underneath that left hip. If this left knee is super healthy, all is well, you can go a little bit deeper. Take your left shin so it's a little more parallel to the top of the mat. From here, you can start to fold your upper body. Any issues with that left knee, then you would draw the heel closer to the right hip. From here, you can even recurl those back toes under, maybe even walking your right foot back a bit more. Staying on your forearms here, you can also just stay lifted. This might be enough. So I wanted to come into this pose, which is called pigeon, because it is super uncomfortable for most of us, right? We carry lots of tension in our hips. And when we are growing, a lot of it is uncomfortable. In fact, the uncomfortableness is the growth, right? Getting comfortable in the uncomfortable. So when we feel like, I don't know how to do this, this is uncomfortable, this feels awkward, right? That forces us to stretch so we can figure out what to do, so we can learn, so we can step up, so we can do what's needed, what's called for in order to move closer to the vision that we have for ourselves. There's no other way around it. There's just not. There's always that uncomfortable threshold. Take another breath. Start to walk your hands all the way back. Lean into the left leg. Bend your back knee first, then take that right foot around to the outside of your left thigh. So two options. You can stay here like this and do the twist, or extend your bottom leg. Might feel a little bit more grounded here. And my right foot's just here to the outside of my left knee. I'm going to reach my left arm up, right hand behind my back, and then twist around. Gaze over that right shoulder. Sitting up nice and tall here. Breathing deep. One more breath. Okay. Exhale. Revolving the chest to the other side. And then we're going to back out the same way that we came in. So bend the bottom knee, take the top knee, extend it back, find your downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And exhale. Let's do a little back bend. So roll forward to your plank. Bend the knees, drop them. Bend the elbows lower to the earth. From here, you're going to extend your arms straight back behind you. Bring your feet together. Zip them up. You're going to press your palms into the mat. You're going to start to lift the chest up. When you're ready, lift your legs up. And the more you press into the palms, the more you lift your chest. Then the more you lift your legs. Keep lifting. Crown of the head reaches forward, neck long. Hold it here. Breathe it in. Back body is working. Breathe it out. One more breath. Whew. And release. Palms under the shoulders. Press back to a child's pose. Take those knees nice and wide. Let the head go. And walk your hands all the way up. Shift your hips off to one side and extend your legs straight forward. So bring your blanket just under the hips. We're going to take a forward fold, and then we'll come down to our backs for the last little bit of work before we move into our rest pose. So bend the knees, arms extend up. And then exhale, start to hinge at your hips any amount. So if you're pretty roundy through the back, I'd rather you sit up tall, keep a deeper bend in the knees, then maybe hinge forward from the hips. Maybe only come here. That's perfect. Maybe go a little farther. Let the head go. Go as deep as you like. Keep that gaze soft. Eyes are even softer. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. Roll it all the way up. Hop off your blanket. And we're going to close our practice today with a beautiful heart opener. So grab your blanket or your props, and you're going to roll up your blanket, and you're going to place it just under the chest. From here, I'm going to lower onto my back. So my roll is just under my shoulder blades. So think about the wings on your back. And then the back of my head's going to press down. So it's a mini back bend in my upper back, and your palms can turn up. You can bend your elbows. And then just depending on your low back, if you feel any tightness there, bend the knees, soles of the feet down, or bring the soles of the feet together, or keep your legs out. We're just going to stay here for 5 breaths together. So just feel your heart open. Feel how perhaps your heart's opened during our practices together, if you felt a shift over these last few months. What perhaps this yoga practice on a whole has done for you. Perhaps start to incorporate a vision to continue to engage in yoga, meditation, or practices that help you reconnect with that calm part of you, with that steady part of you. This was our intention. Add some tools to your life. Bend your knees here, soles of the feet come down. Just going to roll over to one side for a moment. Move whatever prop you have under there, and then come back and just feel a difference in your upper back. Hug the knees into your chest one last time. Just rock side to side, hip bone to hip bone. Give yourself a hug. If you've been on this journey with me for the last 5 or 6 months, then congratulate yourself. I hope that you keep going. So let's rest together for a few moments. I always say if you have the time, then you can even shut the screen off now and stay in your shavasana and your rest pose as long as you can. And it's been a pleasure serving you. Or if you're short on time, then stay here with me. And just let your body surrender for these next few minutes together. Maybe your practice has grown in a way where sitting still, sitting quietly, is a little more accessible. Maybe you felt more relaxed. Maybe you have been moving your body more. All of this is growth. Maybe this is just your first class. You're on your way and you're on the road. But feel the shifts right here. So stay if you'd like. Or take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale. Start to stretch the arms all the way up and over the head. Bend the knees, soles of the feet down, and just roll over to one side of your body, resting your head here. Honor your efforts, not just for today, but the seeds that you have planted for your own personal growth. Pressing yourself all the way up to sit. And we'll meet with the palms together and the thumbs to the heart if this resonates with you, or maybe you're just connecting here to your heart. Chin into the chest. Gratitude for our time together here. Thank you, Greenwin residents, for allowing me to come into your homes and to serve you, and for your trust and your presence. I really value it, and it's been an absolute privilege. Thank you. I wish you well. Stay safe. Much peace. Namaste.